It's that time again. It's time for the Mews. It's time to be amused. Well, two brothers, they fuse their thoughts on the movie business, and then they'll welcome on in everybody to Same But Different Mews. Gotta bing, gotta boo, shoo, boo, be fru, dooby doo 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 doo. It's been a pretty good week for Mews. I do have to be the bearer of bad news. Derek is not here with us today, as you can probably tell via it just being me on the screen. Derek had some obligations. What obligations are more important than this show that makes you millions of dollars every week and you get to hang out with your brother? But we forgive and we forget because I've missed shows. He's gonna miss more. I'm gonna miss more. We will jump right into it. I'll try to make it quick. I don't have a crazy plethora of content. First and foremost, now this first thing, take with a grain of salt. It's still kind of ambiguous. Postcards from Earth is Darren Aronofsky's new movie. You know, Requiem for a Dream, and most recently The Whale, that Darren Aronofsky. It is the first movie that is exclusively shot for the Sphere style. Now, the Sphere is a new venue that's opening up in Vegas where it's supposed to be like, 20-story screens and 4D seats. You know the stuff you'd go to like the theme park and they'd be like SpongeBob in 4D and the seats would move and you'd go through Bikini Bottom and you'd be like, whoa, Mr. Krabs, that was crazy. So it's like that, but without the goofy. The movie is described as a sci-fi journey deep into the minds of our descendants and our future and our shared home that is Earth. It was shot on every single continent on Earth as well as underwater, which is kind of a continent in and of itself. Now, the Sphere apparently caps out at 60-minute films, which means this will be 60 minutes or less. The file size for this movie is half of a petabyte, which is 500,000 gigabytes. Now, to put that into perspective, the first Avatar movie, which is 3 times the length of this, was roughly 3,000 gigabytes. I don't know what to expect from this, but I'm very excited and I've never wanted to go to Vegas more in my life. Viva Las Vegas! The Walking Dead's Daryl Dixon got a first look. Now, Dead City is out. It's maybe 2 or 3 episodes in. I haven't watched it yet. It's getting pretty good reviews. You have to be a Walking Dead fan probably at this point. I can't imagine picking one of these shows up and not knowing the source material and enjoying it. It's kind of a fine line to walk. How do you review a show like that unless you've seen its predecessor? Now, the first look doesn't offer much in terms of content or plot. It definitely showcases the budget with some beautiful establishing shots and cinematography. Out of this Dead City, this Daryl Dixon, this Rick and Michonne, this whatever the shit this franchise is doing, I think Daryl Dixon is the only one that has the potential to be good. Drive Away Dolls, a new film by Ethan Coen. That's right, just Ethan. That's never been done before. The Coen brothers have always done movies together. This is Ethan's first directorial and writing debut all by himself. It's very interesting. This movie had a much more offensive title. I don't know why they scrapped it. I'm kind of glad they did. Drive Away Dolls just sounds better. It looks like a lot of fun. I'm very excited to see what a Coen sense of humor is without the other one to lean on. In my opinion, after watching this trailer, Ethan is the one who brought the comedy to the Coen brothers movies, whereas Joel brought the technical and the tone to the Coen brothers movies. Nicholas Winding Refn, the person who did Drive, who did Neon Demon, he has a very bleh tone about him. He is reviving a British TV show called The Famous Five. Now, for any of the Brits in the audience, you might know what that is. We don't. Never heard of it. Seems like a very, very interesting choice to do something like this, being that his content has always been very mature and very grown up. So either he's turning over a new leaf or he is going to bastardize and completely change what people loved about this show. So let's find out. I've been very interested to see No Hard Feelings. I rather like Jennifer Lawrence, and I have heard quite good things about this comedy. I have heard it is very raunchy and that Jennifer Lawrence carries the mantle. Is that the expression? She carries the mantle, the entire fireplace. She carries it on her back. Unfortunately, I have heard the movie doesn't offer much more than that in terms of plot. But honestly, all I can ask for in today's day and age is an R-rated rom-com. There's so few and far between right now that I don't really care if there's some fleshed out plot or character development. I just want to laugh and be grossed out and go, they can say that? Oh. That's all I really want. We're going to move on to just some general news, and then we're going to move on to some casting news, and then I'm going to say bye-bye, and I'm going to go sleep. Early YouTube fans were treated last week when Anthony Padilla and Ian Hecox from Smosh announced that they are getting back together to bring us back Smosh. I'm 30 years old. I fell in this perfect age for early YouTube. 2006, I was 14, 15 years old. These videos that Smosh were releasing at the time were essentially changing what content meant. They invented something. They weren't the only ones to do it, but they were the most successful to do it. I think it was back in maybe 2017, and I don't know the details. They got into something. Padilla chased other dreams, things like that. They broke up, essentially. They went on to do their own things. Now, Ian kept Smosh going over the years. In my opinion, it just became another one of those shows among thousands of similar shows. Not to say it's not good. It just became every other online content creation group project sort of comedy infused thing. And I'm very, very excited. Their first video back is supposed to come out today as of this release, if I'm not mistaken. So I'm looking forward to it. I love these guys. They inspired me and Derek to get into making videos. We used to make really stupid sketch comedy and silly, stupid stuff. Now, this one, I didn't even really want to talk about, but the Mews is the Mews, and this stuff has potential to make it into movie documentaries and things like that, so I figure it's Mews. The Titan, a submarine that was used to bring people who can afford $250,000 of a ticket. It would bring people down to see the Titanic wreckage, essentially. It was very small. They'd only had 5 people on board. It went missing. They had no idea. It was a few days. They were like, what's going on? What are these clanking noises? Oh, maybe they're over here. Maybe they're over here. No one knew. And then all of a sudden it turned out that they were dead. It imploded under the water pressure, and that's it. I don't know who thought launching a submarine that didn't have the proper testing and safety was a good idea. They even said, this is very ambitious of us to do. Like, don't test something like this for the first time with actual human lives, you stupid idiots. It was all very, very stupid, and then it died out within 12 hours. Nobody gave a shit, and that made me believe nobody gave a shit ever. And now, just a teeny-weeny little bit of casting news to finish off our episode. First and foremost, Ben Affleck has been announced to reprise his role as Daredevil in Deadpool 3. I love Deadpool. I've loved Deadpool since I was a child. When there was finally a movie announced, I read the script 3 years before it came out. I followed this thing through all of its, red lights, all of it's not going to happen, all of it's Ryan Reynolds saying we're not making it unless it's R-rated, all of it. And then it came out, and boy did it deliver, and boy did the second one deliver, and now it's part of the MCU. And they're just doing more multiverse stuff, and I trust it, but I'm scared, but... And in news that people don't really know about, people don't really care about, Tron 3 has been announced. That's not the news. It's been announced for a while with Jared Leto attached to star. That's all the news we had. Not anything too exciting for me. Legacy was good. But it's not like it's a world I care too much about, and you're adding Jared Leto, which is just further distancing me from giving a hoot. Evan Peters was cast, and that gives me a little more hope. I don't know if Garrett Hedlund or Jeff Bridges are coming back. I don't know if this is going to be another sequel that's just kind of removed, just another installment in Tron more than a sequel. I know Legacy was a sequel. I'm not saying it wasn't, but it also kind of wasn't. David Corenswet and Rachel Brosnahan have been cast as Superman and Lois Lane. Now, I had to Google his name because Derek's been calling him Corenswet since the casting news came out. And I thought he was just, I thought it was like Corenswoosh or something. And he just, like I say, Benedict Cumberstompersnatch or whatever you want to do. I thought he was goofing. No, it's Corenswet. I know a lot of people are very excited that the look of Clark Kent has been the same since Christopher Reeve. I think it's getting a little stale. Like, this guy is just a spitting image of Henry Cavill, who was just a more rugged version of Brendan Routh, who was just a modern era looking Chris. It's just, I get it. You're being accurate to the comics, and you're casting people who look like Superman from the comics. But I do hope, and we do have a lot of subtle information, that this movie will be lighter. It'll be lighter. I'm not saying more comedic or anything, but it's not going to be as dark and broody as the Snyder stuff. I'm ready for a new look for Superman, and that just isn't going to happen, because if this goes well, this is our Superman for the next 10, 20, 30 years. Who the hell knows? Piggybacking off of that news, and just infinitely more exciting to me, Brendan Fraser is in early talks to play Jonathan Kent. Give it to him. Give it to Brendan Fraser right now. So, this has been your very, very lonely Muse of the week. As per usual, if you liked this, if you like the information you're getting, if you like me, if you like the way it's edited, if you like whatever, if you just like movies and you're hoping we get better, I don't know, like, follow, subscribe. So thank you all so much for coming, for hanging out, for listening to me monologue about stuff you don't even care about, for chit-chatting, for commenting, All of that stuff means the world to me. We will see you on Monday for our review of Pink Flamingos and the finale of Pride Month. And as always, we will see you next Friday with more Mews. We are doing this twice a week, new episodes, every day, new shorts. So thank you, love you, have a great weekend if you're watching this on time, and a great whatever the hell you're doing if you're watching it at any other the hell time. Mwah. Catch it. Catch that. Thank you.
What's going on? What are these clanking noises? Oh, maybe they're over here. Maybe they're over here.